Well, what happens when the world's biggest superpower tries to rewrite what India grows, eats, and fuels its economy with? Well, behind closed doors, a mega trade deal between India and the United States is taking shape, but at the heart of it is a sharp tug of war over corn, soyabean, ethanol, and dairy. This isn't just about tariffs or trade routes, it's about India's farmers, our food safety, and also our fuel independence. Let me just break down what's really going on. Let's start with corn. The US produces almost 9 times more corn than India, and almost all of it is genetically modified. India doesn't grow GM corn, and we don't allow it in except under tight quotas and only with steep tariffs. So where's the twist then? Well, nearly half of India's ethanol, the stuff that blends into your petrol, now comes from corn. The US says, let us export GM corn just for ethanol production. It won't enter your food chain, which sounds fairly clean, right? But not quite. Indian sugar mills already losing ground fear that this move could crush domestic sugarcane demand. And politically, it's a landmine, especially with Bihar, India's third biggest corn producer, heading into elections. Next, let's move on to ethanol itself. The US is the world's largest ethanol exporter, and it wants India to open up fuel ethanol imports. But India says no for good reason. Fuel-grade ethanol in India is more than green energy. It's actually a strategic tool to reduce oil imports and give our farmers a market for sugarcane and grains. Letting cheap American ethanol in, well, that undermines the whole point. Then comes soyabean. Well, India allows GM soy oil, but not GM beans or the soy protein cake used for livestock feed. Why? Because the GM protein is in the bean, not the oil. And that's where the safety and environmental concerns lie. The US wants to change this. But soyabean is grown on over 13 million hectares in states like Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Rajasthan. And prices, well, they're already crashing. More imports now, that's political suicide. And finally, dairy. This one's actually non-negotiable. India's tariffs on milk powder and butter are already sky high, up to 60%. And there's a cultural red line too. Imported dairy must come from cows, not fed animal byproducts. The US says it's unscientific, India says it's non-negotiable and deeply cultural as well. Still, some experts believe the US may use dairy as a bargaining chip to push through access on corn and ethanol. But the bottom line, this deal isn't just about goods crossing borders. It's about who controls the future of Indian agriculture, who controls the future of Indian food systems and our fuel supply. And for now, India is holding firm.